What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Leicester City preview. As you can see, I am joined by, I think it's fair to say, the best-looking member of the Anfield Agenda crew, Mr. Chris Stonadge. How are you, sir?
I'd say on camera, Mr. Crosby gets a lot of flack. I can't inflate his ego too much, though. But how are you, mate? We're very, very kind. And how is everyone in the chat? I hope you're all doing very well today. I'm rocking my new kit. It's not real. I don't care. Come at me. I'm buzzing.
It's part of, for me, one of the best seasons of away and third kits in '96, if my memory's right.
Yeah.
And that came at the same year as the chessboard green and white one. I mean, what a year for jerseys that was.
Incredible. I've got it came along yesterday with I ordered it to my parents' house because I don't trust myself with deliveries. And basically, yeah, I got that with 0809 home with Torres 9 on the back, which is incredible, and the 0405 away with Garcia 10 on the back. So I'm happy. Came from my boys at DH Gate. Respect them. So.
I met Luis Garcia once at a show. Lovely guy, really nice guy. We were doing some work with 5 Times, the former Players Association, at one of their live gigs. And we got to spend 20 minutes during the interval with Garcia, Hamann, Smeetzer, and who was it? Garcia, Hamann, Smeetzer, and Jibril Cisse.
Nice.
Yeah, Garcia was a lovely guy. But I made a beeline for Didi Hamann. Straight away, everybody else ignored. I went straight for Didi.
Oh, mate. Do you know that Jibril Cisse is now a famous DJ in France? And he was on their version of The Masked Singer.
Do you know what was a lovely moment, actually? So we had some photos for them to sign and stuff because we were giving them away. And one of the photos was of Jibril Cisse with his top off celebrating. And he was on a Skype call with his daughter at the time. And he showed her the photo. Go, look, it's Daddy. And I was like, oh, that was real cute. Like, it was a lovely moment.
Oh, spot on, mate. I love that.
Yeah, again, they're all lovely lads. But want to give a shout out to Adam here, who's just become a member as well. Well done. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you for your support of the channel. Really do appreciate it. And we are, of course, brought to you today with thanks to our friends at Manscaped. WFM20 for 20% off and free shipping. And Chris said to me when we finished the video yesterday that he's looking to get one of his loved ones. I won't go into detail. One of his loved ones here, possibly a Manscaped.
I'll tell you what, if he's watching, you could say it's my dad.
I would be proud, let's be honest. If Daddy Chris was watching, he'd be proud.
I would be. To be honest, he hasn't paid any attention to what I do for the last 4 or 5 years. He's too busy, bless him. But he's very supportive, don't get me wrong. He is an absolute legend of a bloke, so I want to treat him very well. And what better way to treat him than Manscaped for his birthday?
Your mum will thank you later.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. But he probably needed to keep it on there, definitely.
There's a new tagline for them. Anyway, let's have a little look-see ahead, Chris, to this game against Leicester tomorrow night. A game that I won't lie, I'm absolutely buzzing for because I think, and Paddy agreed, there could be a spanking on the cards, Chris. I mean, we could be getting them at the right time here.
I agree. I do think that Leicester are in a really bad moment, but I do think they will be buoyed up a little bit from their defeat to Nottingham Forest. That was pretty unacceptable, if I'm being honest with you, and I'm sure their fans will be looking for a reaction. So I wouldn't be as sure, but I do think it could be on considering the level of form that they're on, for sure.
So during these videos, what I normally do is I go to a predicted 11 score prediction. And I do have that there, but before I reveal my one, I thought I'd put you on the spot, mate, and see what you think for a starting 11 and then what you think for a score prediction as well. And in the chat, love to know your score predictions, of course.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm just checking on team-wise. Henderson's picked up a knock, if I'm correct.
Yes, look, he was going to be in my starting 11 anyway, but yes, he has picked up. And by the way, when we're on Henderson, can everybody calm the fuck down about Jordan Henderson? Some of the stuff I've seen sent to me from social media, this Hendo slander needs to stop.
Honestly, yeah, it's ridiculous. The man has a couple of bad games and it's all gone mental. And just by the way, it's not my birthday in the chat. It's my dad's birthday in like 6 or 7 months' time, and I need to sort out a present. So just before I remember.
6 or 7 months? I mean, you're giving yourself enough time, Chris, to be fair.
Mate, I bought my mum's birthday present in November. It's just so I don't forget, to be honest. I'm really, really bad.
All I'm saying is mine's in September, so you've got loads of time.
And it's not my birthday, by the way, lads. Oh yeah, and I will be sorting you out, Craig. Are we getting you some form of alcoholic drink, probably, or something else, maybe?
Oh, good, my man. Oh, good. Yeah. So with the Hendo thing, I don't know where this started, Chris. Where it came from. I mean, I've been sent a few screenshots of people saying, "Make sure you take a long time to recover from your injury." And I mean, do you see people like I believe strongly that there are people in Liverpool on Twitter profess to be Liverpool fans who have absolutely no interest in us doing well in any way, shape, or form, and are just there to be negative. I don't get it.
But those exist in the crowd as well. I think I've been to games where I've been sat behind people who, for 90 minutes, the level of disrespect that our players get from them. I mean, these lads have been incredible. Jordan Henderson is an incredible human as well as an incredible footballer. I think you have to be very, very careful when you go overboard with your criticism for anyone, let alone someone who has built up such a legacy at this club. So, yeah, I don't get it. It's a bit weird. I think our fans love a scapegoat, and the scapegoats this year have probably outperformed their expectations. So, yeah, I just don't know. Henderson and Milner seem to be getting it this year, which is pretty damn frustrating.
Yeah, look, I know football is what have you done for me lately a lot of the time, but we are talking about our club captain here, somebody who, we can only hold up as a shining light. Somebody is, Milner and Henderson, both model professionals, model human beings. I wish sometimes people would just give their heads a wobble. And yes, they might not be the players they once were, but they still are the leaders and the men that they always were. And I think people need to remember that.
Oh, 100%. And I think we will be seeing in the next couple of years the level of leadership in our club decrease because of obviously Milner's going to go at the end of the season. We don't know what the futures of Mane, Firmino, and Salah are. And I think Henderson being around for that long is going to really help the young players bed in. The level of respect. The way I look at it is the level of respect that Gerrard has always shown Gary McAllister. Okay, these players mean so much. Gary McAllister was Gerrard's mentor. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be the player he was. He wouldn't have the mind that he was, and he's still taking him around with him today. Who knows if Harvey Elliott becomes a manager in 20 years, he might want Jordan Henderson as his assistant. Like, imagine that,
Yeah, I mean, look, Father Time doesn't wait for anybody. We'll all understand that. But there's a way we should be treating these guys as fans, I'll be the first one to say I think Jordan Henderson's playing time will be severely diminished from the end of this season onwards. But I'm still happy to have him at the club, happy to have him round, and happy to have him there to do the James Milner-esque role moving forward. So I don't get it. It's silliness.
And all these people complain about depth as well. And it's like, why? I don't know. What do you want? Do you want Jude Bellingham as our sixth choice midfielder? In an ideal world, that'd be incredible. But come on,
mate. If you have Jude Bellingham as your sixth choice midfielder, I mean, who the fuck are the other five? That's all.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to think. There's depth and then there's depth, and you gotta respect the players who have done so much for this club.
So quickly pushing on to the game tomorrow. Have a go at your starting 11, and we'll see how close it is to mine. I've got an image for mine there that I can bring up in a second, but let's have a guess at yours and your score prediction.
I'm gonna go Alisson in goal, obviously. Trent, Konate, Verge, Robbo. I do think he will try and merge in Konate a lot more now. Fabinho, Elliott. I don't know. I don't think he'll play Elliott and Thiago. Fabinho, Elliott. I've got to do it. Fabinho, Elliott, Ox. With
crack.
Well, listen. If I don't do it, Craig, it'll ruin my brand. All right.
So no Keita, no Thiago, but Ox.
Actually, no. I will say Naby Keita. I will say Keita. I'm only messing with you, but I just think it'll be on the bench, and he might even play on the right. Who knows? But I think it'll be Fabinho, Keita, Elliott. I don't think Thiago and Elliott will play. I can't not see Mo Salah playing. Like, did you see him on that?
I'm with you on that one.
Like, did you see him on that thing where he was coming out for training and he looked just angry with life, and Virgil was smiling at the camera, just trying to wind him up. Like, like this guy, is going to go into Zen Salah mode now. I fear for every club that we've got in the next month or so that he's just angry. I'm sure he wants to make up for the AFCON loss by winning every single trophy for Liverpool. So I'll go for Salah. I don't think you can't. I don't think you can leave out Diaz after the way he started against Cardiff. I think he starts. And Bobby plays. Jota.
Relax there now. You forget about Diogo.
Oh yeah, Jota. Honestly, it's starting to forget how many good players we've got. Like,
Great, isn't it? Brilliant.
It's like I was just thinking, yeah, it's got to be Jota. Salah, Jota, Diaz, and if not Salah, Jota, Firmino. I'm not really worried if Diaz comes off the bench, but I don't think you can leave him out. You got to be fair, and the way that him and Elliott came on and proved how good they were, you can't leave them out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I love the phrase, you can't leave them out for anyone, because it means we're doing well, they're doing well, things are good. And before I bring up my score prediction and 11 prediction, give us a score prediction as well, Chris.
Ooh, I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to be a little bit conservative with it. I do think Leicester will come out in the first half and really, really go for it. Their fans will get right behind them, but I don't think they've got enough. I really don't. In terms of proper bite, I like Daka. I really do. But I don't think he's Vardy yet. So, yeah, 2-0. I think that's fair.
Right. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I remember my starting 11 that I sent, Connor, but hang on. We'll bring it up on screen and we'll see anyway. Right, here we go. So, I've gone for a 3-0 win. Bit one more than Chris there. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robert left back, Kanade and Van Dijk. I think we're the same there in the back five. Was that right?
Yeah, bang on.
Fabinho, I've gone for Thiago and Elliott. And I think you are right, by the way. I don't think you will play Thiago and Elliott together. But damn it, Chris, this is what I want to see. So I've gone for Fabinho, Thiago and Elliott. And then, like you, I'd leave Mohamed Salah out because he needs a bit of a rest. But he won't want to be left out. And if he's angry and focused and ready to go and he wants to play, let him play. So Mohamed Salah on the right, Diaz for me on the left, and Diogo Jota through the centre. That is my attempt at a predicted 11.
Wouldn't be against Jones playing either, by the way. Not at all against that. If he did play,
yeah, get into this. We have so many good players now, mate. That is a great header.
I know. It's like, shit, I forgot about Curtis Jones, and that is a very good position for us to be in. Like this lad's special. So look, I'm happy with pretty much whatever midfield goes out. If Fabinho's at the base of it, then that's all that matters for me. The other two can mix and match, but I really hope Elliott plays.
I mean, to be fair, if we were to look at a midfield of Fabinho, Curtis, and Elliott, I mean, I think we're doing ourselves there because Thiago and Keita on the bench. I mean, Keita loves the game against Leicester in my head. I think he'd be perfect for it as well. So, I mean, that's a bit. If Jones gets the start, that is a huge show of trust from the manager in Curtis Jones. And look, he's probably as suited to the left side as Thiago or Keita. But God Almighty, mate! Again, you can name me 4 or 5 different combinations there, and I'm still going to just nod and go, "That'll do. That'll do."
Well, yeah, and Henderson's not confirmed as out either. Like he's not properly out. I don't think he'll play after all of the knock things, but he could be on the bench. That's another option to bring on. You know, it's a strange feeling having this quality and depth. You know, it really is. It is, and that's all because of the additions of Elliott and Diaz into the mix. And if Carvalho comes in, that's another one. You know, it's all looking pretty rosy and coming at Millhouse for us at the moment.
I mean, let's work off an assumption then maybe that we have Fabinho, Jones, and Elliott starting. I mean, that's it's interesting, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the right decision for me. I think if you have a fit Keita and a fit Thiago available, I'd like to see one of them starting. In other words, I think we're backing ourselves into a corner about this debate of should Keita get a new contract. If he's not playing when fit.
It's a very interesting one, isn't it? Because I personally don't think that that Elliott and Jones at the moment are hard enough workers. I think Elliott could be, but for a Klopp midfielder, you need to be box to box. I think Curtis Jones is much more suited to being able to play forward and be free flowing. I really, really like that. But you got Naby Keita, who I think has still got the work ethic, but can provide a touch of quality as well. But with the contract situation, I think that's probably the toughest yes or no throughout any of the people running out of contract. Like, he is the biggest, like, in the middle out of all of them. Obviously, you got Salah, who's firmly in the yes, and Milner's firmly in the no. Yeah, because, well, pretty much he's not going to sign a new deal. So it is such a difficult one, Craig. And I think everyone will go back and forth on their decision about this, because Keita goes back and forth on and off the injury table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It is. There are some very, very tricky decisions coming up, and for me, the easiest one out of the 5 is to get rid of your boy. I'm not saying that to have a dig at you. I mean, realistically, he's the least talented of the 5 players that are in that last 17 months.
You're 100% right, Craig. And look, I love the mate. I love the man. All right, but I got another man waiting in the wings, ready to take up my my fandom. So it's absolutely fine. I got heart. It's Harvey.
Don't you be taking Harvey? He's my boy.
No. I'm taking Harvey. I'm taking Harvey.
I love Harvey Elliott, mate. I'm adopting this dude as my surrogate son. I love him. I'm
also gonna hop on the Sepp van den Berg train while it's free.
I mean, you're welcome. You can have the carriage to yourself, Chris.
Hey, listen. Preston fans have been saying he's the best defender they've had in this century. So
I'm just working off a ginger quota, and I have 2 in my life already, my wife and my son. So I'm fully stocked.
Oh, mate, he's quality though. He's doing really well, and he's very, very versatile. Being forced to play at right wing back, now he's playing on the right centre back of a 3. So look, Sepp van den Berg train and Harvey Elliott. I'll hang on to the carriage with that one. I don't think I'll get in.
Speaking about squads, interesting and refreshing to see yesterday from the Athletic that we still hold an interest in Rafinha even after signing Luis Diaz. Now, to me, that says one thing, and one thing very clearly, Chris, is that somebody's getting sold in the front 3.
Yeah, I really hope it's not Salah. I really hope.
You know what? I'm getting more and more scared about this, mate, as time goes on.
Oh, mate. If it's Salah, like, but I do think I'm still on the train that it will get done, purely because we've got wages going out in the summer that are pretty extortionate, and I think there will be another few 100,000 onto that. So one of Mane, Firmino, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, maybe even Joe Gomez. So I'm still holding on to that feeling, but I do really, really and truly, if I'm thinking truthfully, I do think Mane will leave, but I just hope it's not Salah. I really hope it's not Salah. It's getting closer and closer now to the time. So
I've said this to Paddy, and I think I may have mentioned to you on a few streams. If I'm Sadio Mane right now, I'm not going to lie, mate. I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off right now if I'm Mane, because you've seen the club's want is to sign up Mohamed Salah. You've probably subconsciously felt second fiddle to Mohamed Salah during his time at Liverpool because of obviously the great numbers. Sadio's won the AFCON. He's picked up from last season, although still not at his best. And I think he genuinely has a right to be a little bit disappointed right now and maybe looking elsewhere. Because he's still a very, very, very good footballer.
Depends on what his demands are. I think if he demands to be valued in the same bracket as Salah and Van Dijk, no. I'm not being harsh. The lad's been incredible for us, but there's a clear, you have to be going to Specsavers if you don't think that he's on a little bit of a decline. He's not played the same in the last 2 seasons as he did for the 3 before that. So yeah, you have to look at that. And people take a lot of statistics into their contract signings now. Mo Salah has got everything that he's got all the proof to say he's worth £400,000 a week. Sadio Mane hasn't got the stats to prove that he's worth £250,000 a week, I don't think, in comparison to a lot of them. So look, I get how much he's done for the club and the legacy and all that, but I'm not willing. I wouldn't be willing as a fan if I was in that position to give him a lot of money. I wouldn't be giving him a lot of money whatsoever.
So let me ask you this one. So let's say Mane's the man to move on at the end of the season, and he ends up at PSG, which I think will probably be the smartest bet. Looking at my 4 signing options, and this is just purely plucked out of my head: Bowen, Rafinha, Neto, Harvey Barnes. Who are you taking to replace? Are we looking to replace Mane in the squad, or are we saying that Jota and Luis Diaz can cover the left? And are we looking for somebody then for the right to challenge or back up Mohamed Salah? That's, to me, where this becomes most interesting.
It is really interesting because I think the 4 you listed there, the only one that's strongest on the left was Harvey Barnes, really. I think Neto's pretty good on both sides. He's pretty good both-footed, but I don't think he's necessarily the quality. And he's got injury issues. Rafinha's primarily right-hand side. Bowen's right-hand side, but can also play through the middle. So then that comes in, what's the future of Bobby Firmino? So out of all of those, and Carvalho might potentially be molded into that. Cade Gordon's coming through, and I think that everyone at Liverpool has a big value on him. So I don't know. That is so interesting, isn't it? Like, where do we look to replace Mane? Is it just on a left winger, like a direct replacement? Because on that, it would be, out of your list, it would be Barnes. Or do we look to get someone from on the right hand side and then permanently stick Diaz and Jota on the left? It's very difficult. Or is Diaz the Mane replacement? Like, is that? I think that's pretty clear and obvious.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Diaz is the Mane replacement, but then the question comes with, who are we looking to, what area of the front are we looking to strengthen? Or are we looking for somebody who can play anywhere across the front three? Somebody who can play. Exactly. Are we looking for another? In which case, for me, dare I say, I think Jarrod Bowen's the best fit.
Oh, I think he's the best fit anyway, stylistically. He's a Jurgen Klopp player through and through, and he's a Herefordian. So of course I'm going to be supporting that. But no, he's a real special player. I think everyone's getting more and more convinced by Jarrod Bowen, and he is probably going to cost 50-60 million, but maybe it'll be worth it to just fulfill our English quota.
This kind of thing, I won't say it annoys me because I don't mean to be rude to the person who put the comment in, but we do get it. We get the bigger picture as well, mate. And we all love Sadio. Nobody here is saying Sadio Mane isn't a Champions League-esque top 4 level footballer still. 100% he is. But you can't, if he had 3 years left on his contract now, we wouldn't even be having a conversation about Sadio Mane. But the fact of the matter is, his contractual situation means that the club are either going to have to stump up a lot of money to keep him for the next 3, 4, 5 years, or let somebody go and try and bring in some revenue to strengthen the forward line elsewhere. And look, something has to give. We can't have it all. We can't, like, I would have no problem whatsoever with Mane, Firmino, Jota, Salah, and Diaz for the next 2.5 years. None. I'd be more than happy with that. But it doesn't allow for rejuvenation of the squad without solely relying on youth players coming through, which is, you want to mitigate that risk as much as you can, Chris.
Yeah. And as you said, if he had 3 years left on his deal, we wouldn't have this conversation. Mane would be still a key member of the squad, but he's got 18 months. Like, 18 months is... He's free to negotiate with any club in Europe a year from now. Like, he's able to do that and leave on a free transfer. And I'm sure that a lot of people who are saying, oh, it makes me sick to replace the people think he should be replaced, they'd be even more sick if he was let go on a free. Like they were with Wijnaldum, you know?
Some people in the chat suggesting some Maximan. You're not going to get him at a Newcastle now that they have money. Let's be real. It's going to have to be an absolutely ridiculous offer to get him at a new. And I'm still not 100% convinced. I have to. He's doing really well, but he has had some injury periods as well there at Newcastle. So you're not getting him at a Newcastle. But I won't lie. I love the idea now of going in and taking Jarrod Bowen out of morally corrupt FC, or morally bankrupt FC, as I'm now calling them. Apparently his cats were taken off him today, by the way, and
Good.
250 grand fine is doing the rounds.
Good. I'm pretty sure didn't David Moyes just the way that he dealt with it in a press conference said it's a non-footballing issue, and he, but pretty much every off-field issue is a non-footballing issue. Like, imagine.
I have to say though, Chris, I think Moyes shouldn't have been put in that position. I do feel for Moyes in that position. I mean, what is he supposed to say?
He shouldn't be playing.
It should be taken out of Moyes' hands. The upper management of the club should have made that decision and take. I mean, to send David Moyes out there for that press conference, he's right. His job is to put out the best 11. His future's on the line here. If the club want to portray that they have moral values and that this goes against everything that they stand for, then they need to take that decision away from the manager and again protect the manager.
I suppose so, mate. But he's still got the power to not play him. He still has got the power to not play him. They had Issa Diop on the bench, who I know is not quite the player that Kurt Zuma is, but like, come on. I just think the whole thing's been messed around, really. I think and some of the comments in the media from former players have gone around today, and they've been pretty shocking as well. I don't know if you heard the comments from Chris Kirkland.
No, I'd seen the guy from the UFC, the former Jan Blakovic or whatever his name is, saying, "Come kick me."
That's brilliant, to be fair. And the Watford fans yesterday were quite humorous about it. But it's not normal. Like, who looks at a cat and thinks, "Yeah, I'm just going to kick it"? That's wrong. Like, there's not.
Who films it as well and doesn't say stop or finds it funny?
It's concerning. It really, really is, and it's concerning how many footballers are getting. I don't know whether it's a football problem, but it's concerning how many footballers are getting caught out on this kind of thing. Obviously, not just not animal cruelty, but on issues disciplinary wise. Is it because they're in sort of a bubble and they're not really used to the real world, and then they don't know what's acceptable and what's not? Or I don't know.
See, where I am with this, Chris, is I have a long-held belief and have been long outspoken that football clubs are hypocritical fucking sons of bitches. They will have morals as long as the bottom line isn't hit. When the bottom line starts getting hit, the morals change. And this has been a perfect example of it. You cannot put out a statement the day before the game condemning all of his actions as being against all of your club values and then play him. It's again, and look, I can find examples of this with Liverpool many times over as well, and many other clubs. But I don't like. I'm as I am. You take me as you find me. I will say stupid shit. I will do stupid shit, but I am as honest as I can be. And this hypocrisy from big business and football clubs, they look down on the likes of me and others, like they have some moral fucking high horse. Well, they don't. They're being exposed at times here. And this is another example of a football club or big business being exposed as having morals that are as deep as their bank balance.
Honestly, you hit the nail on the head, Craig. You really, really did. I mean, and put this clear, we're not supporting Liverpool. We're not supporting Liverpool because of the people behind the scenes. We support Liverpool because of the history, the fact that our dads and the fact that we fell in love with the club as this magical being, but it's not that, you know. And we still love these players, still love this manager, still can get behind the club, but at the end of the day, we can't admit that we're perfect. We can't say, oh yeah, we're exempt from this rule, because we're not. You know, every football club is corrupt off the field, and that's because money's involved, and everyone signed up to this 30 years ago.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I just wish that they would that they would see this in themselves at times and not try and hold the rest of us to these standards that aren't achievable, whilst themselves not portraying the same standards. But look, that's another day's conversation, mate. Really, I suppose. Yeah. Look, do you know what? Something else actually. Did you see the Man City players on a night out? I have to say, I don't like this. I don't like that young footballers like that, if the club know about it, can't go and release steam. They're young men. They should be able to go out and have a few drinks if the club are aware of it. You know, I don't like this trying to harass. And if Manchester City knew they were going for a meal, they were having a few drinks, and they were given time off, so what if they get pissed? So what? I don't understand this fascination as well with trying to hold these guys we've heard about Wayne Rooney speaking about the pressures of when he was coming through, and he turned to drink at times in the wrong way for a release. I think if these guys are getting together, going out for meals, and the club know, I don't see why there's a problem, and I don't see how society's trying to hold them to unrealistic standards.
People are criticising them for going on a night out. What?
It happens a lot.
What? I get it. I get it if it's a night before a game. If it was, or even in a cycle, but what?
And also, if they lose a game, you're not allowed to go out either, even if you have planned time off. You know, how many times have we seen X and Y players in nightclub late after a loss? And because the fans are rightly annoyed about a loss, and they have every right to be annoyed about a loss, but it doesn't take away that these guys are still human beings. And if we want them to have longevity, if you want to keep them in the sport, if you want to protect them, we've got to realise they are human beings as well.
And don't forget, like, team bonding is so massive nowadays. The only reason this Liverpool squad has won what it has done is because Jurgen Klopp has created a tight-knit leadership squad, a squad full of leaders who come together and know how each other work. That sort of thing comes from either going on a night out or excursions, doing stuff together. What's wrong with just a 24, 25-year-old going out for a couple of drinks with his mates? That's what we have to look at it as. And it's because people expect these people to be football 24/7. Like, come on, they're human beings at the end of the day. Just go and enjoy yourself.
100%. I think Pep handled it really well as well, by the way he kind of jokingly brushed it off and said, I'm only annoyed they didn't invite me. So well played. That one, Guardiola, well played. Right, back to tomorrow night's game, mate. At what point does Brendan Rodgers and Leicester, his future at the club, start to come into question? Because I've watched Brendan Rodgers' career obviously develop at Liverpool, then he went on to Celtic and now at Leicester, and when things start to go wrong, he doesn't like to take ownership of any of these situations. He likes to start throwing people under a bus, and that is when, you know, squad camaraderie that we've just spoken about starts to break apart.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to premise this by saying I think Brendan Rodgers has massively overachieved at Leicester. I think he's got the two fifth places to break into the top 6 2 years in a row. Yes, they threw away top 4, but on the face of it, 5th place for Leicester City 2 years in a row, an FA Cup and a Community Shield is a brilliant achievement. I think he has overachieved. But I think we're seeing exactly now the cycle of Brendan Rodgers, exactly what happened at Liverpool almost. 2 great seasons, or actually, in fact, even one really great season at Liverpool, but yeah, 2 good seasons at Leicester. And then just fell apart from the inside. I think that's his level, mate. If I'm being honest with you, and I think Leicester fans are starting to realise what we all said when he first went there. What would definitely happen? You'd have a couple of good seasons, it would all fall apart, and that's what's going to happen. It's just about the person who goes in after him. I think he's laid down great foundations. It's just about who goes and builds on them.
Tomorrow, actually, I'm intrigued to see how the Leicester fans act as well, because they've been a bit off it lately. If I'm trying to be kind here, been a bit shit lately, with some of the stuff that they've been going on. So I hope that that's okay tomorrow night, and I hope that they show up and are somewhat respectful, because they need to learn their lessons. We're going to keep handing them their ass, and just be respectful of our greatness. Basically, Chris, is where I'm going with this. Actually, one more on Tielemans. Have you seen United have been linked now with a move for Yuri Tielemans?
Yeah. On the transfer, we had a chat with Rob Tanner from The Athletic, and he said that he definitely sees Yuri Tielemans going. Whether he'd be a good fit for Liverpool is another question, but he's got, I think, 12 months left on his contract at the end of this. When the summer comes, I think he's far better than Leicester. He wants to be playing regular Champions League football. I think the only way he goes to United is if they come 4th, but I can't see that, Craig, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, me. I think Spurs have it in their own hands completely. I mean, fucking hell, you can't go away to Burnley, dominate the first half like United did, create as many chances. I was doing a watch along of the game. Oh, and on this, by the way, here, yes, I'm doing a watch along of Villa and Leeds from 7:30 over on Twitch. If anybody wants to come across, Killian. So on that one, Chris, you can't go away to Burnley and not pick up. I mean, how did you feel about those disallowed goals, by the way, last night? I mean, I know, again, you're a qualified referee. I think the first one was...
I'm brutally honest, mate. I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But I will I'll have a gander and see what happened. But yeah, I heard that some of them were a bit controversial.
So the first one, I don't think that there was enough of an impediment there to rule it out for me, Maguire. I don't think the fact that he was on or offside should play any heed to it. I think they just basically said Maguire blocked off somebody. And I don't think it was enough, if I'm being honest. But the third one that was ruled out, the Pogba foul, I do think was a foul, ultimately. But I can understand why United fans were a little bit aggrieved. I have to say, I think it was soft.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because we're all used to seeing Manchester United get the good rub of the green of the refereeing decision. So, to be honest, luck, what goes around comes around with refereeing luck. I don't think there's a lot of. I think when we won the league, we had a little bit of luck refereeing wise. I think we gained 5 points from VAR or whatever, and then last season we were completely and utterly screwed over by it. So everything comes around with luck. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy, to be honest. I couldn't care less if they had dodgy decisions, just as long as they don't do anything near us this year.
One thing was unquestionable yesterday, though. They got worse when Ronaldo came on. And I think United fans are starting to see this now as well, that they'll get more from the likes of Fernandez and that when he's not on the pitch.
Well, yeah, because the ball. Oh, this is a really nice comment. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, shout out to Alfie. But yeah, Ronaldo, it's an interesting enigma, isn't it? Because I think Manchester United as a side play worse, but they still always have the opportunity to score when he's on the field. I think he provides so much clinicality that a lot of their other players don't. Even Cavani, I think he's just a level above him when it comes to finishing wise. They certainly as a team and as a unit, which is what I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was trying to build before Ronaldo came in. They look worse, but it still doesn't mean they're less likely to score because Ronaldo can just pop up and nick a goal out of anywhere. So as a unit, yes, but he's still very dangerous.
True. I think he's going to force his way out at the end of the season as well. But look, enough about United. I'm probably shouldn't have brought it up. I think I only brought up the top four race. It's mad. We've talked about the top four race and we've sat here, but we haven't included Leicester in that. And that's, I think, the biggest indictment of Rodgers this season is that we're not even putting them in the conversation. Whereas last year and the year before, to say they were unlucky was probably an understatement, mate. But they fucking bottled it. Let's be honest.
They did bottle it. I think they were fourth on the last day when we won the league, and Man United went there and beat them to it. Then last season, they just completely capitulated. They were, I think it was after they beat us, if you remember, when Kabak made his debut and karate kicked Alisson off the ball. That after then, they completely fell off, and we just swooped in, and so did Chelsea. There was a point on the last day of the season, I think, that they were in fourth. They were in third, we were in fourth, and Chelsea were in fifth. And that would have been a really strange one if Chelsea had gone on and obviously won the Champions League, which they did. So, yeah, they did bottle it. I will say that. But I still think, even though they bottled it, Rodgers overachieved.
True. How nice was it today to hear Klopp say that Luis Diaz just doing rondos and training with a smile on his face the entire time? I mean, I've got that vibe off him since he's come in. He must, I want to say, be pinching himself because he deserves to be where he is from his own talent. But it's lovely to have these stories in and around the club as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I think he sort of comes from a line of players who've had to work so hard to be where they are. Like there was I think I read the other day he almost got kicked out for being too skinny, at one of his clubs because he had yeah, I know, by one of his coaches. It's like, and he obviously clearly had to work so hard, and it's brilliant to see. And he came in doing his little dance, and there's a player in there, Craig. There really is. There's a.
I have my hands up on this, mate. I was late to this party to understand and appreciate how good he was. I mean, I'd only really seen him from his 2 games against us, and I wasn't blown away. But how wrong I was, and how happy I am to be wrong.
Oh, mate, he was just fantastic. The close control that he showed against Cardiff. Look, I don't want to go on a whim and say, look, he'll be the best replacement Barney that we got, but the lad looks happy. He looks. He just looks great, Craig. I'm just so happy for him. I'm probably going to get a Diaz shirt next season. I've confirmed it. It's just what you want to see when you're supporting your club is a player playing with a smile on their face and looking happy. I think we see that for the majority of these players, but for Diaz to be coming in and training hard and wanting to play every single game, it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. I love it.
To think that himself and Jota are still only 25 as well. I mean, I love that. I love that age point. I was going to say age bracket to buy in players for big money, like for that 20 to 50 million bracket. That's, I think, the right age to be bringing them in at. And whatever we think, I mean, Jota and their signings, mate, they're just fucking unbelievable. I mean, whatever these lads are getting paid in recruitment is not enough.
Yeah, I mean, we have a go at us for not bringing in potentially the volume of players that we probably should, but the level and the lack of failures more than make up for it. And I'm almost certain that Diaz will turn out to be a success just because of the way that he handled himself and the way that he has been waxed lyrical about by everyone, from Portuguese league to Colombia's biggest journalists as well. So I'm fully on the train, and I think he will go on to not only improve, but maybe become one of the Premier League's best.
Sorry, I just want to bring this up for a second here. I don't want to ignore Paul. Mate, look, if anyone takes any joy from anything I ever have to say or we have to say, mate, that's a bonus. But if we've helped in any small way, your little dude, I have a little dude myself, as you know. And so to put a smile on that young man's face is more than enough for any of us, dude. So shout out to Alfie. And thank you for watching, young man. We really appreciate it. And again, to your dad, legend Paul, thank you, mate.
Yeah. I hope everything's okay. If there's anything, that's why we do this sort of thing. Look, it's not just like financial to know that
it's not just about the tits and ass, Chris. It's not just about all the women that are constantly outside the door and the mounds of illicit substances. Sometimes it's about the great unwashed.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's about putting a smile on people's faces, and the fact that you even take anything from this is mind blowing for me. So yeah, I hope everything's okay, and I hope we can continue to make you happy, make you smile.
Coutinho starting again for Villa today. I mean,
is he?
Yeah, I've already lumped on from the score from outside the box a few quid just in case.
I mean, it's one of those, Craig. I think if you just keep going for it, I think it will happen. Like this guy is going to score up front of the box for Villa. At least
I got him with Brazil in the internationals. He scored. I got an 8-1 from the score from outside the box. I was delighted with that one. On Joe Gomez for a second. So Joe's back now, obviously after recovering from COVID, having his time away from the squad as you need to be in isolation. Where do you see his future? Do you see it at Liverpool, Chris, or are we starting to see more and more signs that maybe he's eyeing up a potential move away?
From a very selfish Liverpool perspective, I want him to stay. I think as a fourth choice centre back, you're not going to find many better in Europe, in the world, because he's had such big impacts in big trophy wins, and I still think he's got a lot. I still don't think he's back to full speed at all from when he got injured. From his perspective, I want him to go. I just think he is owed by the club to be sold, because I just don't think he'll ever get in. I think Kanate is the future, and Joel Matip's the present. So and he just finds himself, he's too good to be behind two centre backs. Obviously, if there's an injury crisis, we've got the best replacement that you could find anywhere, I think. But for his own sake, he deserves to go and be the main man. And he could be a main man at a lot of clubs.
What are we saying in the chat around Joe Gomez, by the way? Let us know your thoughts on it, and we will, of course, pull a few of the comments and bring them up, because I always like to get a consensus on these things. I mean, look, for me, it's just the injuries. And, I always feel really guilty bringing that up, because obviously no player ever wants to be injured, and it isn't anything that they can really change. I would never accuse Joe Gomez of not putting the work in to try and, bulk up his body or whatever needs to be done. He's clearly done it. You don't get to the level of football that man has gotten to by not, having a good work ethic. And it's tough, man. It really is tough. But ultimately, I can understand if he'd look to move on. And I could also understand if the club accepted a reasonable offer. I don't know what that offer would be. I think it would have to be 30 plus.
Probably. And the fact that he's English as well. Does
I mean, if Harry Maguire's worth 80 million quid, I mean,
Gomez is worth 150.
That lad is fucking dire. Honest to God, mate, he is shite. Like shite.
Exposing the back three, mate. Absolutely exposing the back four. Sorry, back three merchant. But very good in the back three because he's got cover, but not good enough, not quick enough to be in the back four. Absolutely exposed.
He's going to lack a lot of playing time, and those 20 minutes he potentially gets every 2-3 matches won't do him any good. Here's one from Rafter that said, I think Liverpool need to try and hold on to him. It's down to Gomez if he moves, methinks. I think that's kind of where I am as well, Chris. If Joe comes to the club and says, look, I understand the challenges ahead of me at Liverpool here. Obviously love the club, but ultimately I feel for my international career and for my own career, and it is a short career, mate, that these guys have. I think I can see him in a Villa shirt. That's all I'm saying.
So can I. I absolutely can, and I'd be right behind it. I'll just be doing more and more for the fact that Villa will be my second team. And they're full on. Stevie's getting the band back together almost. And he'd be the best centre back in Villa, and I think him and Konza together would work exceptionally well. Tyrone Mings is getting a little bit older now, 28, 29, I believe, and to have Gomez and Konza for the next 5-10 years, that's a top 4 level back centre back pairing for me.
On Luis Diaz, a question somebody asked me yesterday in WhatsApp is something I'd never thought about. So they asked what would be acceptable or achievable numbers for Diaz to the end of the season. And for me, I'm again a bit different. I look at this I just see this as a settling in period, basically. And I've no hope or expectation of him other than he gets the grips with the system and gets the grips with the league, and anything after that is a bonus. That's kind of where I am with it.
Yeah, absolutely. He wasn't meant to be here now. He was definitely not meant to be here. Tottenham sort of encouraged Liverpool to make the move in January, and we got him for an unbelievable price. That's a very interesting one with Gomez. But yeah, and for Diaz, honestly, as I'm in the same boat as you, Craig, I think he will naturally score goals and then he will naturally set goals up. But there's no pressure on him. It's 6 months. To really get himself settled, and I think next season is the one where we'll start to see. I think he'll go on. I think he'll get 20 goals next season, easy.
Yeah, I'm just genuinely excited. I love anybody with a really good work ethic and anybody that we think fight for the shirt as much as we would want to believe we would in that position. And I'm getting them vibes off him already. You get it off Diogo Jota immediately. You get it off Harvey Elliott. And again, it's no accident that Jurgen Klopp seeks out those type of players.
Yeah, players who have to work hard for where they come. Players who are hard workers on the field as well as off it. It's great, and I look that Diaz signing will turn out to be an absolute bargain. And I said it when Jota signed as well. Like these sort of players have a point to prove at the top level. They're trying to break into this world class bracket, and Diaz I think will do it. And I think he'll probably do it even quicker than Jota will, purely because of how he's got that confidence from Colombia. He's got that confidence from Porto this season as well. Yeah, it's just it's the recruitment that is just fantastic, mate. It really, really is. We talk about the fact that we should sign more players because it's a token thing to throw around when things are potentially going as well. I still think we should probably bring in 1 or 2 more. But the fact is, the hit rate at Liverpool is higher than any other club. Like find me another club that pretty much every signing's been successful in the last 5 years. I
would say potentially the second closest Leicester, but at a lower level. Get where I'm coming from. They're pitching at a different level, a level below us at the minute. Yeah.
And even so, there's some players at Leicester. I think Iheanacho was one that's probably taken 4 years to get going. Now he's actually, I really like Iheanacho.
I don't rate Iheanacho. I never have and I never will. Again, I'll always accuse him in my head of missing that chance on purpose. And I'll never let that chance go.
He definitely missed it on purpose. He missed
I'm
it.
so bitter about that, Chris. I won't lie to you, mate. That still drives me demented.
Yeah, honestly, I think last season he was excellent. This year he's obviously taking it on the back burner a bit, but he's still creating. I think he's more of a 10 than he is a 9. If I'm being honest with you, he's more of a creative forward, like a Bobby. I think he's come about 5 years too late, really. So, yeah, look, I'd agree. I'd also say Man City's mostly signings turn out to be pretty good, but they're operating in the level above us in terms of the price range. So, yeah, it's those three would be the ones to look at mostly.
On this, yes, watch along on here tomorrow, starting from 7:30 p.m. I think, or 7:20 p.m. So yes, on the post-match show as well on YouTube tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for the question, buddy. Right, Chris, to finish up, we spoke about the forward options and what we may look to do in the summer, but I suppose the real area we're probably going to aim to strengthen is midfield. So what are our options? How do we afford them? And again, are we looking back to a situation where one of Oxlade-Chamberlain or Keita may have to move on?
Well, first of all, James Milner's leaving. That's £150,000 a week. I think he's on. That's going into the budget. Maybe that might go back into Mo Salah's contract. Who knows? But he's going first of all. Wait for it. Then we have the thing of Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Who do we give a new contract if either of them? They both have 12 months left. Do you give them contracts to protect their value and then sell them? Who knows? I think
it's a gamble, though, isn't it? That's a risk because you could be stuck then if nobody wants to buy them.
And I have a feeling Ox will go purely because I think he has upped his value this year. If we sold him last summer, we'd probably get 10 or 15. I think this summer coming, we could get 20 to 25 still, even when he's got 50, or even if he's got 12 months left in his contract. And then you've got Jones and Elliott coming through, which is unreal. You got Morton there, who is still, I think, going to be a star. Personally, I really, really like him. He's obviously not on the level of Jones and Elliott yet, but I think he'll certainly get up to that level with more football. So those three, I think if it wasn't for those three, we'd be looking for 2 midfielders in the summer. But I think we will get one, and it'll be one of Bellingham or Tchouaméni, and I don't know which one it will be.
Yeah, I'm not up on Tchouaméni enough yet. I've been trying to catch up and watch bits and pieces, but I don't know even if I watch him and he's like the reincarnation of Steven Gerrard. In my head, I'm already sold on the Bellingham thing. I don't think there's anything that's going to twist my mind on that one. I think just find a way to get him.
They're both very different midfielders as well. It depends what sort of midfielder we're looking for. I would say Bellingham's like if you morphed Keita and Wijnaldum and made it better. That's the way I would describe him. And he's also just a silky dribbler, and he's so good. But then Tchouaméni's a little bit more of a destroyer. And yeah, he breaks play up. He's got an energy that will last the entire 90 minutes for 3 games a week. He got a very, very good injury record as well. And he will be cheaper. Let's not forget that.
A lot cheaper, I would say. Probably at least 30 to 40% cheaper than Bellingham.
So they're both incredible players. I just think this Bellingham stuff's it just fits too well, Craig, and you'll be buzzing. I think he fits like a glove into Liverpool's system and into the way that Liverpool go about it. He's a young lad. Again, he's had to work hard. He came from an estate in Birmingham. He broke onto the scene at 15 years old and looked like the best player in the Championship. Like this guy. He's so good. And I think if we don't get him, someone else will. And that's the frightening thing. Because if he ends up at Man City or Man United, then yeah.
He's not going to, though. He's going to end up at Liverpool, Chris.
I really hope so, mate. I really hope you're right.
I mean, I'm going to be a very sad puppy if I'm wrong. But, I think this will be the exception. We've maybe pitched this. Some fans maybe have pitched this generational talent in their head previously as Mbappe or Haaland or even Sancho when that conversation came around last summer, but it's always had Bellingham for me. But on the whole Gravenberch Haaland thing, it destroys my soul, mate, that we miss out on these footballers potentially because of an agent. You know, the potential to even look at bringing these guys in.
Yeah, I'm just totally distracted. Why are there so many rats in the chat, lads? Why is there an infestation?
I don't know, but don't worry, he's blocked now. Fuck him. I don't know what he's on about. Mr. A, does that stand for arsehole? Because clearly...
Oh, wait. Lee Gunner sent them.
What?
Lee Gunner, the YouTuber, sent them. Fair enough.
I've got no idea. I know Lee Gunner sound bad. I like Lee, but I've no idea what this rat stuff's about.
Yeah, fair enough. Infestation.
You want to fill me in on the rat army shit? I don't get that. But look, shout out to Lee. I like Lee.
Yeah, shout out to Lee. Yeah, sorry, what was the question? I just got totally
got a bit distracted there as well. But yeah, look, like Lee Gunner, say hello to Lee for me. Yeah, Lee's a good lad. Oh, there he is. He just sent me a WhatsApp there, Lee. So yeah, that's from Lee. So I was confused there with Chris for a second. Like, I
was totally baffled. I was like, what on earth is going on?
Oh no, I've always got on with Lee, to be fair. I think Lee's a good lad. I like Lee.
Are Arsenal playing tonight? They are. They're playing tomorrow. They're playing tomorrow same time against Wolves. I think they'll lose that one. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Arsenal fans.
Oh, okay. Again, I'm just trying to figure this chat out. A little bit distracted by it. But hello to everyone anyway. Nice for you guys to pop in. Appreciate you dropping by. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like. But Rat Army, hence the rat on my channel. Oh, okay. So DT called Lee a rat. And that's why it's Rat Army. I mean, DT has no fucking right to be casting aspersions to anybody. You know, give me 20 Lee Gunners over one DT any day of the week. I mean, yeah, as I said, I like Lee. I get on with Lee. He's always sent me a message if he knows I've been down or at, and then to me that's a sound bloke.
And that's the best part about content creation is that you meet these people and they're absolutely sound. And people can have reservations, but you know what? There's a whole lot of good stuff that's come out of said channel, but despite the fact that there is a lot of bad stuff as well.
Again, Lee's for sending me some WhatsApp. Right back at you, my man. Thank you. And no, you haven't interrupted our flow, dude. I was thinking, why am I a rat for a second? I was thinking, all the things I've been accused of. I mean, that's not one of them. But yeah, no, I misunderstood. And again, thank you, Lee. And thank you to all Lee's chat who came across. We got your predictions, Chris. Give me a prediction for this game tonight, actually, Villa Leeds, because I think this is going to be a banger.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think Stevie wins it, though. Stevie always wins. I'll go 3-1. 3-1 for 3-1. The man's got a hairline like a Greek god.
Don't bring up hairline, Chris. Jesus,
mate. If I have Steven Gerrard's hairline when I'm 40, I'll be buzzing because I think I'll have probably bought it from Turkey or something. Like this guy looks incredible, and I think he'll win 3-1 tonight.
I'll tell you what, mate. I'm on the verge, and I'm not even joking here. I'm on the verge of looking into a beard transplant.
A beard.
Unlike other men, I don't give a fuck about saying this stuff publicly. I mean, yeah, I can't grow a beard. I don't give a shit about my head of hair, never have, but I want a beard, man. And I can't 40 years of age to grow a beard.
You want to look like Tim Howard? Go for Tim Howard.
I'm thinking more Joe Rogan here, to be honest with you, mate. But yeah, I was looking into it. About three to 6 grand, depending on how much needs to be done.
I didn't even know that was a thing, if I'm being honest with you. But
yeah,
mate, go for it.
Paddy didn't either, but yeah. All you hairy fuckers don't have to worry about this, but yeah, I would love one. I would. I mean, I wouldn't. Some people, try and hide this shit. I don't give a shit. Put me in the Stevie White category. I mean, I'm up there. Get it done.
Go for it, and it'll make good content. I reckon you make a good video over it.
Yes, anyone out there, Hair Restoration Black Rock, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted a beard. I would love a beard, mate. I think I'd suit a beard as well, a proper beard. Right, I'm not talking a grizzly one here. I'm talking, Chris Eubank Jr. type, George Michael, 5 o'clock shadow, kept and a little touch of the Thierry Henry sparkliness because his beard is magnificent at times.
No disrespect, but I think bald people always look better with a beard. I think anyone looks better with a beard, to be honest with you. But bald people, especially, like you just look hard as fuck. Like you're built like a brick shit house. Could become be a bouncer or something.
I could talk a bit more gravelly as well.
Oh, mate, please make it a ginger beard. Please, I beg, make it a ginger beard.
Why on God's green earth, mate, would I sign up for a ginger beard? I mean, it's going to rain a little bit so there as it is.
Make it a ginger beard, Craig. Go on. You know you want to. Make it so you're Sean Dyche. If you got
Oh, God,
sponsored and it was paid for,
I still wouldn't get a ginger, but mate, nobody would sign up for a ginger beard. Plus, they'd have to take a graft, a hair graft from me. So, yeah, I mean, it would be a normal coloured brownie, dark haired beard, hopefully. But I mean, I think I could pull it off.
Do you have to take one of your pubes?
I actually don't know where the graft comes from. Somebody else said back, somebody said leg, somebody said arse. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
mine
has a little ginger tinge in the summer. Doesn't go ginger anywhere else, but in the summer,
I think everybody's a little bit of ginger in there at some point in their beard. I certainly remember a few whiskers of mine that looked a bit bleached.
Yeah, mate, I'm all down for Craig Craig beard transplant content. That's what we want to see. Get a hair transplant as well.
It breaks my heart to you, Paddy, much younger than me, able to sprout this facial hair at will. Whereas, I'm you get all those emails and all those pop-ups about penis enlargements and all over your inbox is always full of these. I started to see a few years ago about beard transplants, and I was like, oh, hello, is this a real thing? And then I looked into it and I realized there's actually a fair few celebrities have ponied up for this but haven't admitted to it. I will admit to it openly, mate. I mean, sign me up for this shit. I'll go Beacon Hospital as well. I'm looking at you here, free publicity.
Absolutely. Exposure coin. That's what we want to see. But no,
would you believe when I was a baby, and I'll try and find one of these pictures. I don't really have many, but I had blonde curly hair when I was a baby.
Really?
Until I was like 3 or 4, maybe. I had blonde curly hair.
How much? Well, if Anfield Agenda hit $1 million by the end of the year, would you get a hair transplant?
On my head.
Yeah, proper hair transplant.
I don't need one. I could grow
like an afro kind of vibe. I reckon that's what you should.
I said if we hit 1,000 subs on Twitch, which would mean 1,000 paid subs, which would bring in about enough money to cover it, I'd get it done. If we get ever 1 month we get 1,000 subs on Twitch, I'll get it done and I'll make content about it. But yeah, look, anyway.
Get over to the Twitch.
I'm really looking into this, honestly. I don't need too much of an excuse to go to Turkey on holidays as it is. But the idea of maybe doubling up with a beard transplant and a set of veneers down the line. Why not? Got to up the handsome factor. Do you know what I mean? Lose the weight, up the handsome factor, and hopefully the career progresses. But look, I'm going to leg it. I'm going to go over to Twitch now and start working on this 1,000 sub thing. But no, for the watch along, Villa Leeds, hope you can join me over there for it. I'll be live at 7:30. Thank you to Chris, as always, for his time. Most importantly, thank you to you guys for tuning in and to Manscaped for the continued support of the channel. 20% off and free shipping with our discount code WFM20. And we'll have a little surprise for you guys coming up in the League Cup final as well. A nice giveaway we're working on for the League Cup final with an Irish company that we're proud to be associated with as well. So look, Chris, thank you. And I will see you tomorrow after the game.
Yeah, I'll be waffling here, there and everywhere after the game. So hopefully we can get the win. Cheers to all the chat. I hope you're all have a good evening and enjoy the games.
Cool, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.